YouTube? How in the fuck are you guys doing today? So today what we're working on is I'm just trying to tidy up a couple projects on the Smokey and the Bandit 450R. I'm just trying to do a little bit of things to try to like I'm going to show you what we're going to do here. Just like little piddly things while we're waiting on parts. You guys know if you build ATVs, you got to wait on parts. So I tell you what I did do is, this is the radiator out of my wife's KTM. Instead of putting it in there like all junky aluminum dirty, I went ahead and spray painted it gloss black. I think it looks a hell of a lot better. We're just waiting on that to officially dry for 24 hours. But what we're working on here is, you can see that we got gold like reflectors tape. Okay, and I bought this stuff from Nilo Concepts. Okay, and what I'm going to use it for is a lot of, I've heard, like, I've been listening to a lot of like podcasts and weird shit, and apparently, like, well, those guys probably have like aluminum tank. No, they got to have a plastic tank. Maybe they have aluminum tanks, I don't know, but the tank fits right on top of this engine, okay, and they make a heat shield guard, but it's plastic and all that bullshit. So what I'm thinking is that, you know, we don't want to vapor lock the carburetor, so how can we keep the bottom part of this fuel tank cool? Okay, and what I thought to do is, well, back in the 90s, the McLaren F1 had gold reflective tape. Well, it was real 24 karat gold. I don't think that this is real 24 karat gold, but what they did is they put tape on anything where the exhaust came a little bit. Also, having air is a great vapor barrier too, but what I thought to do would be to make this out of, you know, put reflective tape on the bottom of this to try to keep the heat out of the fuel, keep it as cool as possible, and then we don't vapor lock the carburetor. Now, I'm not saying for this is necessary, but like, you know, I'm not saying I'm ever going to do a 30-minute or 20-minute plus 2-lap moto or 30-minute plus 2-lap moto, but I don't know if I'll ever be in that great a shape, but maybe somebody else will. So I thought, well, let's try to make this as best as we humanly possibly can get it. And you guys know the type of stuff that I like to build. I like to have all the details thought of. So I bought this stuff, like I said, from Nilo Concepts, and we're going to go ahead and start putting it on the fuel tank and see if we can get it look pretty good. We might have to, you know, we're going to have to cut it some and all that stuff, but I'm just trying to get as much heat away from the fuel as humanly possible. Also, by Cerakoting your cases, you're trying to that helps with heat also too, fellas. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to put oil in this thing today and all that stuff. And we may get to putting on this. I got to extend this out one more section. But anyway, without further ado, I'm going to sit here and go ahead and start putting this this heat tape all on the bottom side of this stuff, and we'll see what it looks like when I get it done. I just think it's a good idea, you know. Here's my setup. I thought we'll just sit right there. I want to keep our razor blade pretty close, and what we want to do is we want to start all the way over here. So peel some of this tape off and see how this stuff works. Wait till you guys see the graphics for this. Mike Sabo did an excellent job. You know, he really should be a graphic designer, really. You know, I think he was in his second life. Let's just pull off this off there because that's going to be fucked. Okay, now what I did before I got to this is I cleaned this off with like contact cleaner, everything like that. So we'll be able to trim this later. You know, I'm trying to figure out how to. Oh, this stuff is kind of stretchy. That's kind of cool. So we really don't care, you know, how it looks here. This is basically going to be under the under the, let me set that right there, under the whatever. So I'm just trying to get it to where you can always come up here and trim it down at a later time. Really doesn't need to be up there. Tape's still good. There we go. Now we can get it down in there a little bit better. Alright, now what are we looking like here? Ooh, we got a big pocket. So let's, there we go. Just want to get this stuck down as good as humanly possible. You know, and if we have to overlap some sections, we're going to have to overlap some sections. It's hard to cut, I will tell you that. All right. Kind of looks like shit, but we'll fix that a little bit later. This stuff wasn't very much money. It was like 18 bucks or something like that. Let's cut that. Alrighty, as you can see, we're starting to get it here. Alrighty there, guys, you can kind of see this. I'll come back, you kind of get the gist of it. I'll come back when I get finished here, and you know, we'll make sure that we got this all pretty much covered. Alrighty, YouTube, as you can see, we got all the tape down here underneath the tank. It fits real good, you know, like I just keep, you know, running around, pressing it down, all that type of stuff. We just want to use this. As you can see, it's pretty bright gold, but what I think this is going to do is help us keep our fuel clean, or our fuel cool. If we can just bring the temperature down, you know, a couple degrees, a couple of ambient temperature, what happens is the fuel becomes more dense, and you can, you know, more of it will go, you get more bang for your buck, really. Also, I don't know if you know this, but like back in the 70s, the Trans Am cars, they used to freeze their fuel. So they would freeze it, okay? And Formula One cars did this too. They would freeze their fuel. What that would do is it would make it smaller. So like if this was a 2-gallon tank, well, now we could put almost 3 gallons in it, frozen. So we inject it in there cold, and it adds some better properties too, because the fuel would heat up just enough for it to melt, or, you know, to become a liquid again, and whatever. But if we can just keep this temperature cool a little bit, I think it's going to add a performance value, plus maybe late in the motos or whenever, late in the afternoon, your fuel won't boil, because, you know, this lays basically right on top of the fucking valve cover. So, you know, like you can't even tell it's there. Super trick. You know, I just thought it would be a good idea. I do have an 08 tank here. I converted this 06 to an 08 so I could get this beautiful 4Works carbon tank cover. Just looks a lot better. Got my Wrath, you know, huge thing to keep the seat on, but that's pretty cool. Blake had one of these Project 321 fuel caps left over. They don't make these anymore. I wish they would. This would be awesome, but at least we'll know, you know, brand new fuel tank, brand new everything. We'll be good to go. So, you know, I just continue to do stuff like this while I'm waiting on parts. Ugh. Kind of sucks, but what are you gonna do? So we'll move on to putting oil in it. I'll show you how much oil to put in that, you know, but trick piece. Alrighty guys, what we are going to be adding is we're going to add the transmission oil. Now what I tried this company, it's Blood Racing. I got their Scorpion blend. I guess it's like the top of the line. 4-stroke, I'm running a 1550. I like a 1550. I like a little thicker oil. Just helps protection on the stuff. And this is formulated for wet clutches. So the TRX takes 800 liters. I got this sweet Motion Pro fucking I got this sweet Motion Pro funnel. This thing is the shit. So what we want to do is fill it up to this top line. Now also we have a Henson clutch, so we could probably have a little bit more in there. So we're going to go right to there. Alright, and then all we got to do is, you guys know where it goes. You can see here, this little fucking cool thing works awesome. Then we just let it run into the transmission here. So now we know we got transmission oil in it, because I don't think Blake put it in the end. He lets you run whatever you want to run, but I like this Blood lubricant. That or Redline, any really good high-end synthetic oil, anything other than Royal Purple I recommend. Like Schaefer's is really good. Redline, let's see, Lucas is kind of okay. I'm not a big fan of Lucas or Royal Purple. That likes to give you the, Royal Purple will give you the scuffleitis. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but scuffleitis is not good. So let that drain out in there for a little bit. This takes a lot of transmission oil. Now remember, we got that billet transmission in there. Want to continue to, that's a good transmission. You don't want to fuck that up. I'm hoping this thing shift gears like but is what I'm hoping. Alrighty, so go ahead and turn this funnel off. Alright, and then I do have all the little Henson plug kit for Honda. So awesome, love that stuff. You know, Blake did such a good job getting all this stuff together. Alrighty, so we're gonna put the rest of, drain the rest of this in there. Ooh. Alright, now, this says that it takes basically 3/4 of a quart of oil. Now, how in the hell, let that, hang that right there. 3/4 of a quart. So how in the hell are we supposed to guess that? We already got 100 in there. So basically, 1 quart is 900 milliliters. Okay, let's fill it up to 700, and then we'll watch it on the thing. It's better to have a little bit too much than not enough. It'll blow it out. We're gonna go to 650. I'm gonna go to 650 and try that. We'll see what we get it on the, because with this little funnel we can watch it on the glass meter. I like to have it at the high line to start, because this is going to be a fresh engine build. And what else is going to be, we got to we got to get all the valves and stuff lubricated, and we got to get the pump filled. So, and that is about perfect at the high line. Let that drain out a little bit there. Just finish letting that drain. It's a little shy of the high line. We'll top it off just. All right, now that's too much, but it should be all right. What I'm gonna do is once we get the wiring harness, we're gonna start the break-in process. We're gonna start it. We're gonna let it do 1 or 2 heat cycles. Get the idle all set, all that type of stuff, and then we'll drain this oil back out of here and put fresh stuff back in it again, just so we make sure we get all the assembly lube or anything like that in there. We don't hurt a piston. We also, on this engine, what we did is I had them Cerakote the top of the piston with this stuff called Piston Coat. It's made by the Cerakote company. What it does is it doesn't let the piston, top of the piston, get as hot. Okay, and I'm trying it out. Some people says it works. Some people says it doesn't. I'm not a firm believer in stuff till I try it, and for how much it costs to get it coated, it wasn't that big a deal. So we'll put our plug back in there, tighten that up, and go from there. Shoo-wee, now the phone's ringing. Alrighty guys, you can see that we're kind of filled up above the high line. I'm okay with that for right now. I'm only using this really is just to break in this stuff. I don't know if I was supposed to use break-in oil or not. Nobody told me. If I do, I'll just have to drain it out. I don't think I have to. I'm not gonna turn 10,000 RPM or whatever. And I don't think this is like a flat tapped cam. Well, maybe it is. This would be kind of a flat tapped cam. Maybe we'll have to go get some zinc anodizers. But that's about as far as we can go for now till we get some parts. Tomorrow we're probably gonna put the brake lever on it and all that stuff, and then figure out, this is for the Behringer setup. So how this works is this goes like this, and then we gotta put, or you know, this goes like this, and then the Behringer bolts up to that. But that's what we're waiting on now, is brakes and all that stuff, and we'll be good. You can see You can't even tell that I got that gold stuff under there, but if you look in there, it looks pretty good. That gets this far away. You know, I don't think we'll have any heat problems and all that stuff. But I'll check back into you guys maybe tomorrow. We'll see what we can get, any more tinkering stuff done or anything like that. So, shoo-wee. Alrighty, YouTube, what we got in is really we're now planning on really waiting on the parts. So it's been a couple days. And remember, we were working on this intake boot. So what I did is I went to this company. They make all these silicone like adapters. And I got one with a 1/2-inch center here. Okay, if you can see this, this is kind of off center. Now they make these with a different opening. So this is like 2 1/8, and then this is 2 1/4, whatever this measurement is right here. So now what we're trying to do is we're trying to get this air box to fit in there better. So now let's see what we got here. So we want to, and a lot of people have been asking me on Instagram, where did I get this air box? This is a Vision Air box. But like if you got a a lowered subframe, this you're probably gonna need one of these. Or what I've seen the guys do with the lowered subframe is they notch this frame here. But we're not trying to do that. So now what we're trying to do is rotate. Oh, Jesus. This is tight. All right. So, shit. All right. Now let's see if we can get this air box to come right up in there, which I think we can. All right, now before we tighten any of this shit down, let's get our air box mounts in there. Ooh, we're gonna need a shorter one. Gonna need a shorter one on that side. Alrighty. I got a shorter bolt there so we don't run into our carbon fiber. You know how expensive that shit is. Let's see what we can do here. Oh yeah, come on. Come on. Alright, now we got that on there. Alrighty, there's that one, and then we'll come over here and perfect. Alright guys, so then what we want to do is, we got that like that, I want to rotate this down out of our way. And tighten this up. Now we have a perfectly sealed air box, fellas. This is going to be really nice. All right, that's tight. Alrighty, that one's tight. Now we gotta find our airbox lid cover that slides down on there like that. Alrighty, well, I'm missing this. I know where this goes. That's for the, I keep losing this thing, but let's see here. Here's how this works. Well, if you can. There we go. Now, there's our Vision airbox on. So that's the airbox mounted. That's how it works. Just like that. We got that on there. Another thing cool that I found was these carbon fiber engine mounts. I thought that was pretty cool, so I bought those and put those on. It's the carbon fiber tubes right here. So again, like I said, suspension should be here later this week. We'll get that put on and all that stuff. Now I got to take this carburetor back off and fix where I put a Boysen, what do you call that? Quick Shot 2 on it. Just because I had one on the 450 earlier and I like that type of system. But now we have a good clean intake. We can run this through the mud, through anything, and we'll be good. But yeah, check out those carbon fiber engine mounts. Are fucking sweet. So we got all that. Waiting on a different brake pedal and a bunch of Walsh stickers. But other than that, I think I want to put something right here, but I don't know what to put on there. Let me know in the comments section. Alrighty guys, that's about as far as I can go again today on the Smokey and the Bandit project. There's just not, you know, again, we're just waiting on so many goddamn parts. You know, like wheels and fucking that shit. I got chains over there, but, you know, we need suspension and brakes and brake lines and, what else? Other than that, we have everything else. We have plastics, we have graphics, we have all the bolts we need. We just got to drill and mount. We're waiting on nets from another company and the wiring harness. Once the wiring harness gets here and the suspension is here, we're just going to dummy on some wheels and set it down on the ground and see if we can get this thing started. That's going to be the big key. But like always, check out Instagram, Facebook, all that fucking social media bullshit. And like always, thanks for watching. And I got to fucking go.